I got out of character a little bit, out of my body a little bit, but I do that all the time. I still thought that I thought they never called a timeout, so I'm just being aggressive, and I guess it was a timeout, and then it goes back to the rule I never heard of is that when there's bumping and stuff, like in every single game there is.
Welcome back, guys. It's been a few days since that wild moment when Dillon Brooks drilled the go-ahead three against the Lakers, then immediately went chest-to-chest with LeBron and picked up a flagrant foul. That whole sequence flipped the energy fast. The Lakers got free throws out of it. LeBron missed one at the line, but then came right back and got fouled on a three-point attempt. That swing alone told the story of how chaotic that stretch was, and in the end, the Lakers still found a way to survive and pull out the win. Throughout the game, Brooks and LeBron were locked in their own mini-war. You could feel it building possession by possession. It honestly looked like Dillon Brooks was getting under LeBron's skin just a little, poking, prodding, testing boundaries. But even with all that noise, the Lakers pushed the lead up to 95-77, which makes the comeback even crazier when you really think about it. And let's not ignore this part either. Luka has his own history with Dillon Brooks too. That whole Canada versus Slovenia situation is still fresh in people's minds, especially with the things Brooks said about Luka back then. So when you really break it down, neither of the Lakers' stars rock with Dillon Brooks like that. He's been pressing buttons for a while now.
Because they pick and choose if you want a technical foul or not. You can go to every single game when there's timeouts and guys are bumping each other. Just pick and choose, but it's just me.
Brooks clearly keys in on LeBron, and that goes all the way back to the Memphis days. Back then, LeBron sent that squad home, and at that time, LeBron and AD were still playing at an extremely high level.
Oh, that was out of my system after the whistle blew. That was gone already. I was already thinking about next game against Golden State and knowing that we got Lakers in a week.
I think sometimes just hearing you say that, I can understand it. But then sometimes people view you and they're like, how could he just flip it and just forget about it when it just happened?
I don't have social media like that, so I don't get to see all the aftermath and stuff. And like I'm programmed, I'm wired where the whole day I'm something, and then when I wake up the next morning, it's something new.
That history didn't disappear. It carried straight into this matchup. And now Dillon Brooks is circling back, ready to recap everything, sending a clear message to LeBron and letting everyone know exactly why the tension is still there. Now, give credit where it's due. Dillon Brooks is averaging nearly 22 points a game this season, and that's a serious jump. In previous years, he wasn't this type of player at all. Yeah, he could score in the teens, but this version of Brooks is louder, sharper, and way more confident. His impact on the Suns has honestly been bigger than Kevin Durant's impact on that roster so far, and that's not a light statement.
Just to be clear, what mistake did you make in that moment? Did you just let the emotion get the best of you, or what?
Yeah, even though he missed the free throw, so is it a mistake for real?
But what do you learn from that?
I would stay in the game and be able to affect the game when I'm in the game. And that's my problem throughout my whole career is that I let those things happen and then I'm off the floor. So. And at the end of the day, how much people hate on me and say I'm not a good player and all that, but when I'm on the floor, it changes the whole game.
What was LeBron so upset about earlier when he got the foul?
I don't know. I guess he's a social media junkie. He be all over the social, so he be seeing, I guess, what I'm saying. And when I go out there and he thinks, like I told you, he thinks that people should think a way about him, not say nothing about him or, play a certain way. I'm not going to play that way. So he gets in his moods or in his modes or whatever it is, and I'm all for that. I wish we let him shoot that shot, and that shit would have been an air ball.
Shout out to him for that, because the Suns actually need this version of Brooks badly. Devin Booker will always get you buckets, that's automatic. But Brooks brings something different. He brings chaos, edge, and confrontation. He's the type of player who will mix it up when things get uncomfortable. And when you're guarding wings like Jason Tatum, LeBron James, and KD on a regular basis, you can't just play clean and polite basketball. If you try to match those guys talent for talent, they will cook you every single time. You need an edge, you need grit, and you need to disrupt the flow. That said, there was still a lesson in that moment. Dillon Brooks could have learned something from LeBron right there on the court. After taking the lead, he had the upper hand. He had the bragging rights. He didn't need to go chest to chest or turn it physical. He could have talked a little, stayed slick, and walked away. The moment he escalated it, the momentum slipped just enough to matter. People are also pointing out how LeBron grabbed the official and tried to move him out of the way during that sequence, and he wasn't ejected from the game. That's become part of the debate. Some fans are saying what Brooks did wasn't the same as physically touching and moving an official. That conversation is floating around heavy right now. But even with all that noise, LeBron showed composure when it counted. Dillon, on the other hand, knows he let emotions take over in that moment. Still, this is something the Suns can live with. Right now, they're sitting at 14-12, and this was before that Warriors game. They're competing in the West this year, and that edge Brooks brings is part of why. So shout out to Dillon Brooks for standing on business, even when it gets messy. Brooks also touched on something deeper about today's NBA. He talked about how a lot of players look at LeBron as someone they grew up watching on TV. They're just happy to share the court with him instead of really challenging him. Dillon says he hates that mindset. He feels like the league has gotten way too buddy-buddy, way too comfortable, and way too respectful during competition. In his view, that admiration should stay off the court. Summer runs, off-season workouts, cool, do that there. But once the game starts, it's supposed to be war. Dillon is basically saying the energy shifts when everyone signs with clutch and starts acting the same way. And that's why he pushes back against it every chance he gets. You see it all the time. Someone like Draymond Green talks tough until it's time to line up across from LeBron. Then suddenly it's all clean basketball, straight up defense, no extra bumps, no reckless fouls. And that's exactly why I can respect a Dillon Brooks in this era, even when he's going at one of my favorite players. He doesn't switch up based on the name on the jersey, and that matters. Because even when it doesn't go Dillon Brooks' way, it actually makes the win sweeter for the other guy. If someone can say, yeah, I dominated you, you tried everything and it still didn't work, that bragging right hits harder. That's competition. That's pressure basketball. And that's why the league needs more wings like this, just minus moments like what happened with Gary Payton II. I'm not rocking with that at all. But everything else, the trash talk, the mind games, the constant pressure, I'm with that. Anything that gets into a player's head, anything that tests their mental toughness and fortitude, that's part of the battle. Basketball isn't just skill, it's psychological warfare too. I've seen it firsthand. Back when Brooks was still in Memphis, and even later in Houston, LeBron would take him straight to the post, back him down, and finish right over him. No hesitation. I still think LeBron can do that now, but let's be real. At this age, it's harder to do those things whenever you want. Every season adds a little more resistance, even for someone like LeBron. I'll be honest, I wasn't mad when LeBron and AD beat Memphis back then. Ja, Brooks, and that whole squad were talking crazy at the time, and the game backed it up. But here's the part people don't like to admit. Since Brooks left the Grizzlies, he's helped change the direction of multiple franchises. He helped Houston become a serious team again. That team made the playoffs with Dillon Brooks bringing veteran presence and edge. Then they make the move for KD, a move they felt they had to make to try to open a championship window with that roster. Brooks was part of that foundation, whether people want to say it or not. Now he's in Phoenix, and since the Chris Paul era ended, that franchise has been searching for an identity. They went and got KD and Bradley Beal, and things started trending in the wrong direction. Then they bring in Dillon Brooks, and suddenly you see defense, toughness, and accountability show up again. He's getting to show more of his offensive bag, and in return, the team gets grit and resistance. Phoenix is hanging its hat on identity now. Brooks, Grayson Allen, sometimes it gets real physical, sometimes it rides the line. But the thing is, you know exactly what you're getting, and when you know that, you've got to be ready to match it. It might take someone stepping up and meeting that energy head on. That's playoff-style basketball, whether people like it or not. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.